Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this unplanned video. Had to do this video. I've just watched this documentary and it is so incredible. I really wanted to just do a quick review of it, but just more let you know that it's actually available to watch now. I don't know that it's available in the US, but it is available here in the UK. If you search Superfan on the WWE network, it will bring back the documentary. It's about 40 minutes long, and I just watched it, and it's so good. It's so good. It's quite challenging as well, and we're going to get into why, and we're going to talk about who Vlad is, and we're just going to do a quick overview, because as I said, I don't really want to spoil anything. There's not really much to spoil, but this is more to let you know that it's available now. This documentary, I think it was announced a few years ago, just after like COVID, just after 2020, as we were going into 2021. This was something I was so excited for because we get a lot of documentaries looking at different superstars, but this is the first time that we're going to get a documentary looking at a super fan. And this is such an interesting perspective to not look from the ring out, but look from the out in. Like, this is the other side of the barricades. This is the fan's perspective, and not just any fan. You know, one of the most passionate wrestling fans wrestling will ever see. Like, if you're gonna award a super fan awards, I don't think anyone is gonna disagree with Vlad getting this award, and certainly not after they watch the documentary. The reason why I say this is challenging is because I was expecting this to be WWE telling us about Vlad, how he's been to over 1,000 shows, how the superstars even recognize Vlad, how there's a warmth towards Vlad because he was always positive, always bubbly. You know, whenever you saw him on camera, he was always engaged with the show. He's just positivity personified. Like, you could easily put this guy in the New Day and he would just absolutely fit, because I don't think anyone represents the power of positivity more than Vlad. Absolutely fantastic. I thought it was just going to focus on that, but unfortunately Vlad did lose his mother to COVID, and there is a part of the documentary that actually focuses on that, and it's genuinely moving because it kind of catches you off guard, and it's not something I was expecting. And then again, you know, we talk about suicide because Vlad lost his mother, and also because of COVID, he lost wrestling. Live wrestling went away. And to say that wrestling means more to Vlad than it does the average person, I think that would be an understatement. It really comes across that Vlad lives for wrestling. It's, as he says, his medicine, and he lives for wrestling. And so, as I say, it at times can be quite challenging because it's maybe not the documentary that you expect at first, but from start to finish, there isn't a single moment in this documentary where Vlad doesn't come across as maybe the nicest guy I've ever seen. Like, the nicest guy in the world, to the point where I finished watching it and I just wanted others to watch it as well. And I think a lot of people are going to feel that way when they watch this. It's kind of been added to the network on the quiet, and there's really no like buzz around it. It might be because it was filmed before WWE was sold to Endeavor, and maybe they just want to get it out because people have been asking for it, but they haven't really planned on like announcing it or anything. I don't know, but I feel like that's where us as fans can come in and we can do the shouting instead. You know, Vlad's one of our own, and so it would be cool to see a lot of people shouting about the fact this is available now on social media, and certainly I felt that way, and I thought I needed to do a video on it. So yeah, it's a great documentary. You've got to watch it. I've got some images from it, and we are just going to touch on some of the points, but obviously I'm not going to spoil anything. There's not really anything to spoil, but let's have a look at some of the images, because there's some brilliant shots Like this one here where Vlad leaves his apartment and heads to Madison Square Garden. I mean, you just get the buzz of New York, and we hear about how important the garden is. And of course, we touch on some of his key moments, like this one here where Roddy Piper actually got Vlad onto the edge of the ring and asked him the question, who should I tag with? Who should be my partner? And Vlad responded, Hulk Hogan. The Madison Square Garden erupted, and the match was made, and so like that's like a big moment in Vlad's life. And the documentary ends with Vlad like rewatching this moment, and it's really touching. And then like this one here, where he even at one point was holding the umbrella for Lex Luger when the Lex Express was doing its rounds. Vlad, not just a fan that would go to the shows, but he would go to these kinds of events, and he would go to like the bar where the wrestlers are and bump into different people, like Vince McMahon, for example. And Vince would even talk during this documentary. And here he is, look, enjoying the ice cream bar, giving a thumbs up as well. As we said, you know, absolutely embodies the power of positivity. So there he is enjoying the ice cream bar. But this is the bit now where once we've kind of got across like how big of a fan Vlad is and some of those TV shots that he's been a part of, we then start like touching on him as a person. He grew up in Haiti and came over. His mother came over to America, and like the family followed. And he just talks about like how much wrestling meant to him when he was growing up. And then, of course, we talk about his mother and the sad passing of his mother, and obviously condolences to Vlad in regards to this. This is dealt with quite nicely, but as I said, it's quite challenging as well because he does get upset, and it is very poignant, and you can definitely feel how much of a loss this was for him. You know, he goes on to say that he just wants his mom back and he wants wrestling back, because this, of course, is being filmed during COVID. We do pick the tone up, though, of course, and we do have a look at some of the merch that he's got. He's actually got like a Rockers t-shirt that was handed to him by the Rockers. He's got like a guitar that Honky Tonk Man had used. He's got loads of figures and merch and things, and he shows a few items off. And then, of course, he gets some messages from the wrestlers themselves. And this is a real heartwarming. I mean, Shawn Michaels with such a wonderful message. Same with Jeff Jarrett as well. Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan, all sending video messages to Vlad. And you can see what it means to him. I mean, after every message, or even as the messages are playing, he's just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then we get to see him go into Tampa after not being able to go to wrestling. He gets to go to WrestleMania 37. We see Triple H and Steph give him the Superfan Awards and surprise him. And again, you know, we get shots of him from the past, and that gets bookended with seeing him in the front row for WrestleMania 37, like this moment here where Bianca wins in the main event, and Vlad is right there for that moment. She's got her hands in the air. He's got his hands in the air. It's powerful stuff. Really powerful stuff. It's a great documentary. It's one of their best documentaries, and from a very, very different perspective, but at times it is challenging. As we said, you know, it's not just the fun look at wrestling. Like, there is loss in there, there is pain in there, but there is a lot of positivity and a lot of joy, and it's a fantastic watch. So if you are someone that's got the international version of the network and you can watch this, do it. You won't regret it. If you're in America and this hasn't been added yet, I'm sure it can be found somewhere, or hopefully it'll be added soon. But a fantastic watch, a must watch. Superfan, the story of Vladimir.